Hello there. I'm Nick, the Senior Account Manager here with Jobscan, and today we are going to go over Jobscan's LinkedIn optimization tool. So as a student or a client or just a user of Jobscan, this is our Jobscan Premium dashboard. The idea behind the LinkedIn optimization tool is to appease to an entire industry, to optimize our LinkedIn to appease to an entire industry, as opposed to our resume and cover letter tailoring tools, which are more focused on creating resumes and cover letters that are specific for a particular job description. We're going to use our LinkedIn optimization tool to appease to the entire industry that we're aiming for. So to start this, I'm going to show our little scan history here where we can kind of see the target industry that I'm aiming for. As you can see here, I've got applications with Puma, Adidas, Nike. I even got a Reebok down here at the bottom, cashier, customer service, store associate, Adidas specialist. So the industry I'm aiming for is shoe retail, and the position I'm aiming for is a customer-facing role. If I go over to my LinkedIn, I'm going to start by uploading my LinkedIn, just like this video walkthrough provides. So we'll go to our LinkedIn page, we're going to press more and save it to a PDF. From there, we are going to actually upload our LinkedIn. And we will be met with the jobs from our scan history section. So as we can see here, we've got the Puma, Adidas, here's another Adidas, and our Nike role. I am going to select the jobs that I'm most interested in. I'm going to take two of these Adidas, the Nike, and the Puma role, and I'm going to scan my LinkedIn against all four of these roles. Similar to that of our resume breakdown, we're met with a percentage match rate. Our percentage match rate, again, we want to aim for 80% overall to give us the best, optimization and chances of not only passing through this ATS, but making sure that the actual recruiter likes what they see on our LinkedIn page. So we're going to start with our best practices here, like first and last name, profile photo. As profile photos, as you can see here, will receive up to 21 times more views and 36 times more messages. Our location, this is where I would specify if I was open to remote work. However, these are all Seattle-based positions, and I'm a Seattle-based representative, so my location lines up here. Additionally, probably the most important thing here is that our industry matches. So the industry, it's obvious to Jobscan what we're aiming for here. We're going to help optimize our LinkedIn based on this industry. Throughout this tool, you're going to see that we have these little question marks. These question marks are going to give us a breakdown of exactly what this section of our page is asking for. So what Jobscan is looking for within this particular section. As I continue to scroll down, we're going to be met with our high impact areas. Now, potentially from more the alumni or user side, those individuals who are looking to utilize LinkedIn, maybe they have a position currently and they're looking to change industries. Our high impact area is going to be a primary focus if that's the case. So essentially, when recruiters utilize LinkedIn to scan for candidates, what they're going to do is type in keywords to their LinkedIn recruiter tool and find candidates based on these two areas, the headline and the profile summary. That's where the terminology will be pulled from, not from the experience section. So within our headline area, as we can see here, we have a character limit of 122 characters. We are going to want to focus on, a quick tagline that either talks about the industry that we're in now, the industry we want to be in, or while utilizing some of the terminology that's relevant to the industry that we're applying for. So as we can see here, it looks like these are all retail positions. So retail is the primary terminology that's utilized here. We're going to want to include this, whether that's I'm seeking a role as a service manager within retail or a retail service manager, or maybe talk a little bit about our successes in retail. Additionally, we're going to highlight whether or not we have an overuse of special characters. A lot of recruiters are kind of turned off by, a lot of the stars, the bolded stars or the slashes and whatnot that can be utilized in a headline as it's very grabby. So we're going to want to avoid that. We can see here I'm denoted with the green check mark indicating that I'm not overusing any special characters. Secondary, in my profile summary here, if I can actually pull this up, we're going to see that I have a 2,000 character word limit, or character limit, excuse me. So a lot larger of a place to expand. Here, we're going to want to focus on the top 3 terms from this industry, which looks like retail, customer service, and service manager. Our length is good. And again, no special characters, no overuse of special characters. And it looks like we also don't have any of those cliche buzzwords or negative terminology utilized in here, as I'm denoted with the green check on those words to avoid section. Now, we do want to actually include some of those measurable results, those numerical findings or numerical values behind our experiences, talking about, potentially I hired on 5 individuals and drove revenue up 20% year over year. Recruiters love to see this, so we're going to want to highlight this in our profile summary area. As I continue to scroll down, our statistics show that I think it's roughly 87% of recruiters will vet candidates on LinkedIn. So it's imperative that once I apply for a position, I have an optimized LinkedIn, again, based on this industry. In addition to that, I want to ensure that my LinkedIn is as navigatable as possible for recruiters. So when a recruiter comes to my page, they're able to see my experience levels. They're able to see where I worked. As you can see down here with the green checks across the board, we have our company name synced, indicating that the company page on LinkedIn is linked with my LinkedIn, so that way, when a recruiter comes to my page, they can read my responsibilities for this role. They can see what I did, my job title there. They can see the dates I worked there, and then they can just click on that actual icon for the position, like here at Jobscan as a senior account manager. They would click on Jobscan and they would be taken to Jobscan's page to see how relative it is to their business. In addition to this, we also have our history here. We include at least 3 positions. Our short-term gigs are labeled with contract, intern, or part-time. So more for, internships I may have had in college or high school. I don't want to be seen as a job hopper, so I want to avoid those red flags and include terms like contract, intern, or part-time. I'm aiming for a service manager position. This title position is not listed anywhere on my LinkedIn. If I'm aiming for this role and I have experience in it, I want to either talk about that within my high impact areas, my experience as well. But also, if I don't have that, then I want to indicate that I'm aiming for a role as a service manager. That way I can get that terminology in there. So if they do utilize LinkedIn to just search terminology and find candidates, I'm brought to the top of that list. Again, we're going to talk about those measurable results. In our experience area, we are looking for at least 5 measurable results. You'll see that I have 3 here. I'm going to want to expand on a few more. If I don't have them, that's okay. Lastly is going to be our words to avoid, the cliche terminology I had mentioned, maybe any negative terminology, best in class, synergy, or like I obliterated the competition in my previous role. That comes off far too aggressive. We're going to flag that and say, hey, let's switch up this sentence structure. As I continue down, now the primary difference here is that I'm utilizing 4 different job descriptions. So as opposed to actually optimizing my LinkedIn to just one job description, putting all my eggs in one basket during my job search doesn't make a lot of sense to do so. Instead, what I want to do, again, is appease to this entire industry. So as I cross-reference all 4 of these job descriptions, I'm going to pull the key skills that are relative to the industry as a whole. These are all within the same industry. So the terminology that I'm pulling here is going to be relative to that industry. As we can see, retail takes the cake. It's at the top. It's represented 4 times across all of those job descriptions, followed by customer service. Now, really, I don't need to add all of these hard and soft skills to my LinkedIn. However, when it comes to appeasing to the entire industry, I really want to focus on maybe the top 6 to 8 of these. And including that, so what I'm going to do here is jump back to my LinkedIn, add in some of this terminology to my experience, to my profile summary, to my headline, in order to have that recruiter be able to actually scan through, see that it's matching that industry, and select me as a candidate. Common skills. So these are going to be endorsable skills based on this industry. A lot of the employees within this industry at Reebok, Puma, Adidas, I think I had another one in there, but either way, a lot of employees within this industry possess these hard endorsable skills. So including this terminology and asking my peers to endorse these is not just me telling the recruiter that I have this experience or this this hard skill set, but it's others actually backing me on that. Very similar to on the resume side, our predicted skills section. While this is not terminology that's necessarily called out within these job descriptions, it's relevant to the industry and it's relevant to these positions. So including it can give me that leg up on the competition I'm looking for. Within the education side, very similar to that of the work history, I am matched with my school on LinkedIn. So I actually have the school's crest represented on my LinkedIn, the dates that I went there, and the degree that I received from them. I always find it to be a huge leg up on the competition if you can share the alma mater with a recruiter. So it's imperative that the recruiter is able to see the crest of the university there. That way they know, again, we have something to talk about. We have something in common here. Lastly, on this page, we're going to find our overall tips and tricks. So vanity URL, it's imperative. We actually mentioned it on our resume side, making sure that the recruiter can find us right away when searching for us on LinkedIn. I'll use my alias Joe Jobscan here. I want my LinkedIn URL to be linkedin.com/Joe Jobscan Seattle. That way it's very easy for them to find me. And then lastly, number of connections. If you exceed 500, it only shows 500. Shows you have a large network, which is always a good thing in the eyes of a recruiter. Once I've kind of understood how to appease to this industry better, what I can do now, again, is jump back to my LinkedIn, add in the terminology I'm missing, update the fields like headline and profile summary and experiences, ensure that I'm matched with all my previous employers and my university on there in order to give me the best overall chance of yielding another interview or yielding more interviews as I apply during the job search. That is the LinkedIn optimization tool for Jobscan. And thank you very much for listening.